Alright guys, so in this video what we're going to be doing is bringing you another first impressions of another fragrance from the brand Haramain, and this one today is going to be Haramain Amber Oud, and this is the black edition. So again, Haramain is one of these really popular Middle Eastern fragrance brands that are known for kind of throwing out these high quality dupes of a lot of these popular designer fragrances. Every one I've gotten in my collection thus far has been a dub, so we're going to see, has this black edition, is this another dub, or have we finally met our match and have we gotten our first dub from the line? But nonetheless, we're going to get through our first impressions, we're going to get through our blind smell reaction, we're going to get our name, we're going to fit it to the person and the setting. So nonetheless, let's get right into it. We're going to start off with our unwrapping, our unboxing, and then we'll see just where this fragrance lies. Alright, we stick to it. Again, nice box design. Again, they definitely kept the same Haramain design and look. Boom, we come. The presentation is keeping that same Haramain presentation. Then we got the bottle design, bang, nice gold front. And then we got a nice black exterior, nice black backing. So as far as bottle design, as far as presentation, definitely they kept it, they managed it. So now we're gonna go through our initial smell test. Again, we're gonna go through the air, then we'll get off the strip, we'll get off the skin, and then we'll test whether this one is gonna be a dub. So here we go. All right, we're coming off the air, we're gonna give it a nice, here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Nice wide spraying atomizer, typical of Haramain. Let it settle down. All right, as this one settles in the air, definitely you're getting a nice warm, smoky spiciness to this one. You're definitely getting what smells like oud and leather, so a nice earthiness to it, a nice spiciness with that smells like cardamom. Then you're getting a little bit of a fresh-ish kind of undertone in here, almost like a grapefruity accord. So if you like a fragrance that's not so much your run-of-the-mill designer or niche fragrance, you want something with a little bit characteristic and scent profile, I think you're gonna like a fragrance like this one. This one doesn't really smell too much like my typical fragrance that I tend to lean towards, but nonetheless, smelling it in the air, definitely nice opening, nice projection to it, and it's definitely kept the quality. So for a fragrance that's just over $40, I do quite like what it's doing here, and nonetheless it's 1 for 1 as far as the opening is concerned. Definitely one for more of the man's man. I think it is still going to be a unisex fragrance, but it's going to lean more masculine in my opinion. But nonetheless, nice first impression to say the least. All right, here we go. We got to test the strip. We got the fragrance. Let's see how it is when we come off the strip and what we get on the second go around. But settles again. You're getting that nice oudsy, ambery leather. So again, a really masculine, leaning unisex fragrance nonetheless as it settles down. This one definitely is not your run-of-the-mill, typical fragrance. I think this isn't gonna be your crowd pleaser. I think this one is definitely gonna have a very niche and specified audience, which is unlike most of the fragrances that you hear talked about in the community. Even a lot of the fragrances that I have are, I wouldn't say mass pleasing, but a lot of people are gonna tend to like them as opposed to not liking them. I think this one is gonna have a very unique audience to it nonetheless, just off of first impression. But as I smell it off the tester strip, getting some different fragrance notes in here too. Like you're getting some orange, you're getting some grapefruit, you're getting ambergris as well, so a little bit more musky, as opposed to just regular warm, spicy amber. And you're still keeping that cardamom in here. So again, if you like spicier undertones, if you like leathery undertones, you like oudsy, earthy, musky, you like sort of that type of fragrance, it's not necessarily like I've heard people talk about this fragrance before. It has been around for a little while, and they've talked about it being a little bit like Luna Rosa Black. I don't see that at all because it's not nearly as powdery. It's not nearly as sweet. This one is for those of us who don't like a sweet fragrance either. It's not got that sweet undertone. It's really not bubblegummy at all. I think this is not really so much a, ooh, I'm a sexy motherfucker type of cologne, but rather it's for that person who really wants a nice man's man. To me, honestly, it's not the same type of fragrance. It's a little different, but I would imagine if you're somebody who likes a fragrance like Lalique's Encore Noir, if you like Tom Ford Effing Fabulous, if you like a fragrance like even Oud for Greatness, I think you would like a fragrance like this. It's not oud base, it's not oud strong, but definitely if you like those sort of really high class, lavish fragrance, if you like that oud-y, that Middle Eastern smell, I think you're gonna like a fragrance like this. Nonetheless, off the strip, still keeping the scent quality, still keeping those unique characteristics, definitely. Nonetheless, it's really quite unique, and to say the least, I think this one definitely has a very niche aesthetic to it, which I think is going to be great for the fragrance collector or even somebody who wants something a little bit different for the collection. I do think this one would be possibly worth a try. As I'm getting my nose on it and as I'm kind of smelling it, especially because it's not smelling something synthetic. I am liking it more and more. So definitely we're 2 of 2. We got it off the opening is really great, and then off the strip is good. Definitely does have a place in my collection. I'm seeing it, and then it's starting to come together as far as where and who and what this is gonna go for and who this is gonna go for. But nonetheless, we got one last thing to do, then we'll get through our final breakdown. All right, last step we gotta do is just get it off the skin, and then we'll be able to kind of get through our final thoughts of this one. So far, unique to say the least, but I do like the fragrance. Here we go. Go through off the skin. Let it dry down some. I think those fragrances I mentioned before, I think those are kind of what I would envision this one to be. Kind of the most like your Oud for Greatnesses mixed with some effing fabulous. And then even if you like a little bit like Encore Noir, where you like a really nice smoky, rich, earthy fragrance, I think this one would be one for you. But nonetheless, let's take it off the skin. Okay, off the skin. There's a benzoin-y sweetness to this where you get a little bit of that. So it's not overly no emotion type, earthy, masculine, but definitely the level of aromaticity that you're gonna get is gonna be really subdued, really suppressed, and you're gonna have to get really intimate with the person in order to get your nose on it. Definitely getting a little bit of a vetiver vibe in here as well. So again, cardamom, I've gotten cardamom, I've gotten ambergris, I've gotten leather, got definitely those 3 fragrance notes to say the least. And then you're getting a little bit of that vetiver, and you're getting a little bit of that benzoin in the base. But overall, good, solid quality fragrance. So I mean, we got through the first impression. Again, nice fragrance, definitely unique, definitely different. And then we'll go through our final breakdown of it, and we'll get this one wrapped up. All right, so when we finally break this fragrance down again, Haramain Amber Oud Black Edition is going to be for the person. First off, as far as season and occasion, I think this one is definitely going to be more of a fall, winter, well-dressed. I would go black suit and tie type of fragrance, night out fragrance. So definitely more of a more lavish, luxurious fragrance as far as setting and occasion is concerned. As far as comment playing factor, this is what I'm going to say. It's going to have a very niche audience, right? So it's not going to be your mass pleaser. It's not going to be the one where you're trying to get the most compliments in the room. It's going to be more of a personal favorite for that person, or even for a particular, if you know, hey, I'm going towards a crowd that may like to lean towards this fragrance, maybe you would use it for a very niche and a very defined demographic and population. I would say more so this is going to have a very unique audience to it. Still good and still great, honestly, for those occasions. But as far as mass pleasing compliment getter, I'm not getting that at all. Who's wearing this? Definitely, you're not a new collector. This is not someone who's new to getting into fragrance. I wouldn't recommend this fragrance for them at all. It's not that it's bad. It's that this is something where you have to really get your nose onto quite a few fragrances, build sort of your fragrance nose, your palate, and your fragrance personality. And then from there, you can be able to tell, okay, will I like this fragrance or not? I look at when I was first collecting a fragrance like this, I probably wouldn't have liked at all. I would have been like, no, there's a little too much going on, just due to the earthy, resinous, smoky. I wouldn't have been able to appreciate this fragrance. The fact that I've been doing this for close to a decade plus, you know, it's one of those things I can see all the qualities in it. And I kind of look at it as, what would you guys like, you know, and what are the things you guys are looking for? And so I think this fragrance is one that it won't be a mass pleaser. It'll have a very defined audience. Guy in his 30s for sure. Like, this isn't even a youthful fragrance I would give off. You know, even a younger guy who likes these fragrances, I wouldn't recommend this one as well. I would go 30s, 40s, you know, that type of really established gentleman. I would say would really kind of like this fragrance. Not, again, good for the person who likes it. Good for the person who likes it, I would say. Definitely, if you're someone who's into a more earthy, resinous, smoky, benzoin, vetiver type fragrance, definitely this will be the fragrance for you. Definitely gonna have potential to be a compliment puller, but I wouldn't recommend this as, hey, like, this is gonna be the fragrance that gets you the most compliments in the room, nonetheless. And then lastly, as far as scent quality, scent profile, and projection, it does have a nice projection to it. Nice quality, as I mentioned before. I think definitely the longevity is gonna be good on this fragrance. As far as quality is there. All right, but finally, you know, I think this one has potential. I think it's one of those sleepers in many people's collections where it can really have a lot of potential, but it just may not be one of those for the mass pleasing, you know, audience to understand. So nonetheless, but that's it, guys. First impressions done and accounted for. Haramain Amber Oud Black Edition. Again, another interesting a more interesting find in my collection. Again, more interesting first impressions video where I smelled this one and it wasn't bad. I just understood that this one wasn't gonna be for everyone. But nonetheless, let me know if you guys have tried this one down below in the comments, and let me know any of the fragrances from Haramain I've missed or you guys want me to talk about, and we'll get them done in the comments. Again, just found my channel. I appreciate you stopping by. Make sure to hit the subscribe and the follow button so you get notified anytime I drop any fragrance content. To all my returning followers and viewers, I appreciate you guys. We're building the community, we're building the family up, and I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. But as always, guys, we'll catch y'all on the next one. Have a good day. Much love.